The Marked Rites by Colton. When a group of people are brought in, they discover that the place is filled with paranormal activity. Because what they discover is, the house was built on an old burial ground. Now the group must stop this demon from possessing anyone, or lose their lives in the process. 1992. The outskirts of London, England. A house appears, screaming in the distance. Woman number 1 appears running down the hallway. A figure appears at the end of the hallway. Woman number 1 stops. The figure approaches woman number 1. Woman number 1 starts running. A vase flies off of their stand, then hits woman number 1. Woman number 1 falls onto the floor, drops a book, groans, sees it laying on the floor, then reaches for it. A boot steps onto the book. Woman number 1 looks up. Man number 1 appears with red eyes. "Please, don't," said woman number 1. Man number 1 grabs woman number 1 by her throat, then lifts her up. "You can't escape the dark side. Evil will reign, and no one can stop it. Not even you," said man number 1 in a demonic voice. "Please, stop." "It's me," said woman number 1. "Your husband is gone. I am what's left of him," said man number 1. A cat appears outside the house walking. Woman number 1 gets thrown through the window, then lands onto the ground. The cat is walking over woman number 1's body. Man number 1 appears standing next to the window. 2010. 18 years later. A church appears. Antonio Manning appears behind his desk, writing. Knocking on the door. "Come," said Antonio. The office door opens. Austin French appears. "Minister Manning, your flock is waiting, Father," said Austin. "Thank you, son, I'll be right out," said Antonio. "Yes, Father." People appear sitting in the church. The office door opens, then shuts. Antonio walks towards the podium. "Morning, everyone. Today we will be reading from Salem 23, said Antonio. People are walking out of the church. "Nice service, Father," said number 1. "Thank you." Austin appears in Antonio's office. The office door opens. "Austin, you scared me to death," said Antonio. "Sorry, Father," said Austin. Antonio sits down. "Is there something I can help you with, my son?" asked Antonio. "No. I just don't want to go home," said Austin. "You know, you are welcome here. This is God's house. But you must confront your fears, including your father," said Antonio. "Yes, Father." Austin stands up. "Father, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to be your assistant," said Austin. "You're welcome, son. Now, head home," said Antonio. The church lights are being turned off. The front door opens, shuts, then locks. Antonio walks towards his car. The driver door opens, then shuts. A figure appears in the rearview mirror. Antonio looks into the rearview mirror, then quickly turns around. The car starts, then drives away. A house appears. The car pulls up, stops, then turns off. The driver door opens, then shuts. Antonio walks towards his house. The figure appears inside the house. Antonio stops, then quickly runs towards the front door. The front door unlocks, then opens. Antonio runs into the living room, then looks around the house. The sun is setting. Antonio appears reading a book. Knocking on the door. Antonio stands up, then walks towards the front door. The front door opens. Antonio walks onto the porch, then looks around. The front door shuts. Antonio walks back towards the living room. Knocking on the door again. Antonio walks back to the front door, then opens it. Austin appears. Hello, father. May I come in? Asked Austin. Yes, son. Come in, said Antonio. The front door shuts. Sorry, I didn't know where to go, said Austin. What's going on? Asked Antonio. Austin takes off his sunglasses. A black and blue mark appears over Austin's left eye. Antonio looks at Austin's left eye. My father got drunk again, said Austin. All right, you can stay here while I get you an ice pack and call this in, said Antonio. Please, don't tell anyone, said Austin. I must tell the police. This is child abuse. Now, stay right there. Antonio stands up, then walks towards the kitchen. The freezer opens. An ice pack is being grabbed. The telephone starts ringing. Hello? Yes, this is Father Manning. Uh-huh. All right. I'm really busy right now. Can I call you back? All right. Good evening, said Antonio, handing up the telephone, then walking into the living room. Who was that, father? Asked Austin. Just a caller that needed to talk. But I need to settle this first, said Antonio, handing the ice pack to Austin. Austin places the ice pack onto his left eye. Father, can I ask you, why did you become a minister? Asked Austin. I was around your age when I decided to become a minister. When I was younger, my parents worked a lot. So, they hired someone to watch me, not a babysitter. They had my neighbor watch me, spending all day together. My neighbor molested me. I was 14 when that happened. I wanted my life to be over. I thought about suicide. Until one day, someone put this into my hand. I read it. Then I knew God may help me. And he did. That's what he can do for you. The telephone starts ringing again. Excuse me, said Antonio. Certainly, said Austin. Hello? Yes. This is Father Manning. I'm really busy right now. Can you call me back? Asked Antonio. I'm calling Father Manning. My name is Father Gerald Barker. I'm from London, England. I was told to contact you, said Gerald. May I ask why, Father? Asked Antonio. Yes, Father Manning. Have you ever heard of Colton Mansion? Asked Gerald. I'm sorry, I can't say I have. What is Colton Mansion? Asked Antonio. It's the most expensive mansion here in the outskirts of London. But people also say it's the most haunted place here, said Gerald. All right. Why are you calling a minister from the States if you're there? Asked Antonio. Because Father Manning, your name is burnt inside the house, said Garland. I'll be on the first flight out, said Antonio. The receiver gets hung up. Antonio turns around. Is everything all right, Father? Asked Austin. I need to go to London for a while, said Antonio. Why? Asked Austin. I have a burning sensation, said Antonio. The sun is rising. A suitcase closes, then gets picked up. Antonio walks out of his bedroom, walks down the staircase, then looks. Austin appears holding a suitcase. Morning, said Austin. What are you doing? Asked Antonio. I'm coming with you, said Austin. No, you're not, said Antonio. You're just gonna leave me. You'll just have me go back to my dad. No, I'm not gonna be hurt anymore. I feel safer with you, said Austin. I don't think so, said Antonio. Please, let me come along. I want to learn, said Austin. All right, come on, said Antonio. Austin smiles. London, England. The airport appears. People appear walking off the airplane. So, where do we go? Asked Austin. Gerald appears then. Approaches both Antonio and Austin. Father Manning, I'm Father Barker, we spoke on the phone, said Gerald. Yes, this is my assistant. Austin French, said Antonio. Nice to meet you, son. Please, let me take you inside the mansion, said Gerald. Shouldn't we get settled in first? Before going there? Asked Antonio. Father Manning, you're staying at the mansion itself. Now please, this way, said Gerald. All three are walking away. A car appears driving. We're staying at the house. May I ask? Why? Asked Antonio. Cheaper than a hotel, Father Manning. Plus, the owner doesn't mind, said Gerald. And you said, and quat, it burnt my name into the wall. And quat, why my name? Asked Antonio. That's why I called you, Father, said Gerald. This place is pretty far out here, said Austin. Like, I told Father Manning. And quat, it's on the outskirts of town. And quat, is this your first time training? Son? Asked Gerald. Yes, Father, said Austin. Training is the only way to become a professional. Father Manning is teaching you, right? Asked Gerald. He is, thank you, said Austin. A mansion appears. The car pulls up, stops, then turns off. We're here, said Gerald. The car doors open then shut. I'll grab the suitcases, Father, said Austin. Thank you, Austin. Antonio looks at the mansion. What a magnificent place, said Antonio. Thank you, Father, said Juan Rios, appearing on their porch. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice you there, said Antonio. It's all right, Father. Like they always say, accidents happen. Plus anyway, I love people who are honest, because others aren't around. They say their opinion. I'm Juan Rios, the owner of this, as you put it, and quat, magnificent and quat, mansion, said Juan. Father Antonio Manning. But, please call me Antonio. I really appreciate it, said Antonio. Nice to meet you, Antonio, said Juan. Austin drops the suitcase. Let me help you, my son, said Antonio. I got it, Father, said Austin, falling onto the ground. All three are walking towards Austin. Both Antonio and Gerald help Austin stand up. Are you all right, son? Asked Antonio. Yes, Father, said Austin. Well, who'd like a tour of the house? Asked Juan. All four are walking into the mansion. My goodness, this place is magnificent, said Antonio. Well, maybe I should put that on the sign for the ads. Colton Mansion, haunted but magnificent. All four start laughing. Let me show you to the bedrooms first, so you could get settled, said Juan. All four are walking up the staircase. Antonio stops, then looks at a painting. Oh my! Is this a Michelangelo? Asked Antonio. Yes, it is. My parents bought this a long time ago. Had it ever since, said Juan. All four continue walking. The bedroom door opens. Nice room, said Austin. This is where you'll be sleeping. Both of you. Only because the master bedroom is being redone. Me and Father Barker will have the room down the hall. If you need anything, just ask, said Juan. Thank you, said Antonio. Thank you, Mr. Rios, said Austin. Please, son, it's Juan. Father, let's give our guests a few minutes, said Juan. Both Gerald and Juan are walking away. The bedroom door shuts. This is a nice place, don't you think, Austin? Asked Antonio. Yeah, it's really big too. How much do you think this is worth? Asked Austin. Well, We're in London. They go by pounds here, said Antonio. Oh, that's right, said Austin. Footsteps are approaching. Both Gerald and Juan look. Both Antonio and Austin walk into the living room. I hope I'm not disturbing you, asked Antonio. Not at all. Please sit down and have some tea. Both Antonio and Austin sit down into the chairs. Tea is being poured into 2 cups. Here you are, said Juan, handing the 2 cups to Antonio and Austin. So, Mr. Rios, Father Barker said. And quot? My name was burnt somewhere in this mansion. And quot? Where would that be? Asked Antonio. Juan puts down his cup. Please follow me. I'll show you where, said Juan, standing up. All 4 are walking. The cellar door opens. All 4 are walking down the cellar staircase. Nice basement, said Austin. Thank you. This way. All 4 continue walking then. Stop. Right there, Antonio, said Juan, pointing. And quot? Father Antonio Manning and quot appears burnt onto the basement wall. Man. Say about making a mark, said Austin. Austin. Antonio walks towards the basement wall, then touches the burnt writing. And this was just down here that day? Asked Antonio. Yes, I was the one that found it, Father Manning, said Gerald. Why would my name be burnt into a wall? In London, England of all places, said Antonio. Are you originally from London, Father? Asked Juan. No, I grew up in Austin, Texas. Then I moved to Alabama, said Antonio. Do you have any relatives that live here? Asked Juan. Not that I know of. And another question came to me just now. Why this house in particular? Asked Antonio. I asked that too. That's why I had Father Barker call you, said Juan. Maybe we can figure this out tomorrow. It's already 11 pages, said Gerald. Yes, Father Barker is right. I usually go to sleep by now. Good night, Antonio, Austin, said Juan, walking away. Night, said Gerald. Good night, Father, said Austin. Both Antonio and Austin appear sleeping. A creaking sound comes from the distance. Antonio opens his eyes. The creaking sound continues. Antonio looks to his right, sees Austin sleeping, then sits up in the bed. The creaking sound comes from down the hallway. Antonio gets out of the bed, then walks towards the bedroom door. The creaking continues. Antonio sees movement from underneath the bedroom door. Kneels onto the floor, then looks into the hallway. The hallway appears empty. Antonio stands up, then starts walking towards the bed. The bedroom door creaks open. Antonio stops, turns around, then walks towards the bedroom door. The bedroom door opens. Antonio sees an empty hallway, shuts the bedroom door, then walks back towards the bed. A figure appears in the corner of the bedroom. Antonio. Antonio stops. Antonio. Antonio turns around, then doesn't see anything. Antonio, said demonic voice number 1. Antonio turns around. The figure appears with red eyes. Antonio screams, then wakes up. Hey, hey, hey! It was only a dream, Father. You're all right, said Austin. Footsteps are approaching. The bedroom door opens. Are you both all right? Asked Juan. Yeah, just had a nightmare. Man, it felt so real though, said Antonio. Nightmares can do that sometimes. But, like what our parents taught us growing up. Dreams can't hurt you, said Gerald. Yeah, sorry for waking you, said Antonio. Hey, you would have come running too if I screamed, said Juan, tapping Antonio on his shoulder. The sun slowly rises. All three appear sitting at the kitchen table. Antonio walks into the kitchen. Morning, father. Tea? Asked Juan. Sure, I'll have a cup. Sorry about last night again, said Antonio. No problem, said Juan, handing a cup to Antonio. I was wondering, maybe you can tell me about the history of this place and why people think it is haunted, asked Antonio. Well, I really believe it is haunted because this mansion was built on an ancient burial ground. If you think Indians have bad spiritual beliefs, a long time ago, someone summoned a demon, and I know it's a demon. I've seen and heard his voice, said Juan. You think there's a demon here, said Austin. Don't laugh. You're supposed to believe. I'm not. But I also believe what I see. And I saw the demon. Actually, it was a black figure, said Juan. With red eyes, asked Antonio. Yes, you've seen him too, asked Juan. In my dream last night, I heard a creaking noise. Thought it was Austin trying to go to the bathroom. I woke up and saw him in bed, so I went to check it out, said Antonio. Did you see anything? Asked Gerald. No, not until I tried to get back to bed. I heard my name being called, so I looked, then turned back. There it was, standing in front of me, said Antonio. Do we have to do an exorcism? Asked Austin. No. I want to find out more about this demon character and see why he brought me here, said Antonio. I'll help, said Gerald. Mind if I walk around? I'd love to see the rest of the house, said Austin. Go ahead, just don't break anything, said Juan. Of course, said Austin. All three appear sitting next to a computer. Antonio is typing on the keyboard. What are you looking up? Asked Gerald. The list of demons. Here we go, said Antonio. The page is scrolling. Recognize any of them? Asked Juan. Yeah, so far this one, said Antonio, double-clicking the mouse. A demon name gets highlighted on the computer screen. Who's Arjanek? Asked Juan. I've never heard of that one. There's so many demons out there. New ones are starting to appear, said Gerald. Arjanek was a demon who, like most demons, can possess you. But the thing is, he only stays in one place. He's not like other demons, where he can roam around until they decide to choose someone. He's almost like a quarantine demon, said Antonio. Well, that must suck for him. And me, said Juan. Why you? Asked Gerald. He's in my house, said Juan. What does he want? Asked Gerald. Like most demons, a soul, said Antonio. Whose? Asked Gerald. Yours, mine, Gerald's, or even Austin's, said Antonio. Footsteps are walking. Austin is looking at the pictures on the walls. A figure moves down the hallway. Austin looks down the hallway. Hello, someone there? Father Manning. Father Barker? Mr. Rios. Hello? Austin continues looking at the pictures, then stops. Wow, this one looks creepy as shit. Oh, God forgive me. What is it? Is that supposed to be? Asked Austin, looking closer. A hand grabs Austin's shoulder. Austin gets startled. Are you all right, boy? Asked Juan. Yeah, I'm fine. You just startled me. Hey, Mr. Rios. What's this painting supposed to mean? Asked Austin. Oh, it tells the story of a demon that can't leave this house. His name is Arjanek, said Juan. That's an odd name, said Austin. Don't all demons have odd names? Asked Juan. Yeah, I guess so. What does this Arjanek want? Asked Austin. What do all demons want? A soul, said one in a demonic voice, then his eyes turn red. Austin walks backwards. Juan transforms into Arjanek. Austin runs down the hallway. Arjanek roars. The mansion starts shaking. All three are looking at each other. What the hell's going on? Asked Juan. An earthquake, said Antonio. There hasn't been an earthquake here in over a century, said Gerald, screaming in the distance. That's Austin, said Antonio. All three start running. Austin appears running down the hallway, trips, then looks back. Arjanek is gone. Phew. Thank God he's gone, said Austin. You wish, said Arjanek in a demonic voice. Austin looks in front of himself. Arjanek appears. Austin screams. Arjanek grabs Austin by his throat, then lifts him up. Footsteps are approaching. Unquat, Austin, unquat, unquat, Austin, unquat, yelled Antonio. Antonio, said Gerald. All three look down the hallway. Austin appears laying on the floor. Austin, are you all right? Austin, said Antonio. Austin opens his eyes. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just fell, said Austin. Why did you scream? Asked Antonio. What? Asked Austin. Why did you scream? Asked Antonio. Oh, I saw a rat. It ran out from underneath one of the tables, said Austin. A rat? Son, I haven't had a rat in this mansion in a long time, said Juan. I don't remember what I saw then. I definitely saw something. I must have hit my head off of this table, said Austin. Lucky you didn't get hurt, said Gerald. You're fine though? Asked Antonio. Yeah, I'm fine, Antonio, said Austin. Maybe you should lay down, said Gerald. Yeah, that'll be good, said Austin. Both Austin and Gerald are walking away. Juan looks at Antonio. Are you all right, Father Manning? Asked Juan. I'm fine. It's odd though. Austin called me Antonio, said Antonio. And that's your name, Father, said Juan. But Antonio always calls me Father or Father Manning. Never my first name, said Antonio. There's always a first. Let's get back to work. Father, said Juan, walking away. All four appear eating. Antonio is looking at Austin. Austin looks up at Antonio. Is everything all right, Antonio? Asked Austin. Everything is fine, my son, said Antonio. Great. Can I have the potatoes? Asked Austin. Gerald hands the bowl of potatoes to Austin. Austin scoops potatoes onto his plate, then hands the bowl to Antonio. No thank you, Austin, said Antonio. Not taking any food when it's offered is offensive. Take it, Antonio, said Austin in a demonic voice. What? Asked Antonio. I said, unquat. Not taking food when it's offered is rude, said Austin. Antonio grabs the bowl of potatoes. Thank you, Austin, said Antonio. Anytime, Antonio, said Austin. So, did you find anything else out about Arjanek? Asked Juan. Not yet, but once we do, we'll be able to eliminate his spirit from this house, said Antonio. Austin's fist hits the table. All three look at Austin. Can I have the pork chops? Asked Austin. Gerald hands the plate with the pork chops on it. Austin grabs the plate with the pork chops. Antonio is staring at Austin. Is everything all right, Antonio? Asked Austin. Yes, but getting back to Arjanek. I'm wondering, did he write my name on the wall in the basement? said Antonio. Probably damaging my basement. He's nothing more than a bastard, said Juan. Austin quickly stands up. All three look up at Austin. Is something wrong? Asked Juan. No. I'm going for a walk, said Austin, starting to walk away. The front door is this way, said Antonio. I meant to my room, said Austin, walking away. What is wrong with your friend? Asked Juan. He's possessed, said Antonio. Possessed? What do you mean by possessed? Asked Juan. There's someone else inside him. Are you sure? Asked Gerald. Why do you think he keeps calling me Antonio? He always calls me Father or Father Manning, said Antonio. Do you know who's inside him? Asked Juan. Yeah, he proved it right now when I brought up about Arjanek, said Antonio. You're telling me Arjanek is in your friend? Asked Juan. Yes, said Antonio. I don't believe that, said Juan. The mansion starts shaking. What's going on? Asked Gerald. I don't know, said Juan. The utensils rise from the table. Move, said Antonio. All three fall onto the floor. The utensils go into the chairs. Jesus, that was a close one. The table flips, then lands onto Juan's legs. Juan groans. Ow, my legs, said Juan. Gerald stands up, then runs towards Juan. I got you, Juan. Antonio, I need your help. Antonio stands up. A chair flies at Antonio. Antonio falls onto the floor. Antonio, are you all right? Asked Gerald. Yeah, I'm good, said Antonio, moving the chair, then standing up. Both Antonio and Gerald move the table off of Juan's legs. Juan groans. We got you, Juan, said Gerald. Both Antonio and Gerald lift Juan up. Let's get out of here, said Antonio. All three are running towards the front door. The front door closes, then gets blocked by furniture. Oh no, said Gerald. What's happening now? Asked Juan. He doesn't want us to leave, said Antonio. Demonic laughter. All three look up. Fools, you can't leave. No one leaves this place. No one can live the tale of Arjanek. Why do you think no one ever knew about me? Because I'm the smartest demon ever. No witnesses. Especially you, Father Juan. You're lucky you were only a baby, because you'd be dead by now. Also, luckily for the police showing up, because I would have killed you then, said Austin in a demonic voice. You bastard. So, you're the one that possessed my father, then threw my mother out the window. Then you made my father hang himself, said Juan. At your service. Now, I kill you three and this body. Then wait for the next people to arrive. I can do this forever, said Austin in a demonic voice. Antonio reaches into his pocket, then pulls out a pocket Bible. Gerald, I need your help, said Antonio. The pages of the pocket Bible are being flipped through, then stop. Both Antonio and Gerald start reading a prayer. No, stop that, said Austin. A chair flies, then hits Gerald. Gerald falls onto the floor. Look out. Juan, said Antonio. A drawer opens. Steak knives fly into the room, then towards Antonio. Juan looks at Antonio, then moves him. The steak knives go into Juan's torso. Juan gasps, then collapses onto the floor. And Quat, Juan and Quat, yelled Gerald. Austin is laughing evilly. Antonio rips his necklace of a crucifix off his neck, raises it, then continues speaking the prayer. Shut up, both of you, and Quat, shut up, and Quat, yelled Austin in a demonic voice. The mansion continues shaking. Both Antonio and Gerald fall onto the floor. The pocket Bible slides onto the floor. Gerald groans, sees the pocket Bible, then reaches for it. A boot steps onto Gerald's wrist. "Get away, you demon from hell," said Gerald, pulling out a crucifix. Austin groans, knocks the crucifix out of Gerald's hand, grabs him by his throat, then lifts him up. Gerald sees Arjanek. "Oh, my God," said Gerald. Antonio grabs a stool, then swings it. The stool breaks over Austin's back. Austin looks at Antonio. "Sorry, Antonio." Austin punches Antonio. Antonio goes into the wall, then he groans. Gerald reaches into his pocket, then pulls out pepper spray. The pepper spray goes into Austin's eyes. Austin groans. "Damn human body," said Austin in a demonic voice. Gerald grabs the pocket Bible, stands up, opens it, then chants the prayer. Austin looks at Gerald, walks towards him, then pushes him into the table leg. Gerald gasps. Antonio looks up, grabs the crucifix, stands up, then chants the prayer. Austin looks at Antonio, then walks towards him. Antonio raises the crucifix. Austin groans in pain. Antonio walks towards Austin, then continues chanting the prayer. Austin walks backwards into the wall, then kneels into the corner. "Why are you doing this to me?" "Why?" asked Mrs. Manning, appearing in the corner. "Mom, is that really you?" asked Antonio. "Yes, honey, it's really me. Please, why are you doing this to me? Please stop it," said Mrs. Manning. "I didn't mean to hurt you, Mom. I really didn't," said Antonio. "Please, honey, lower the crucifix. Put it on the floor for Mommy," said Mrs. Manning. Antonio drops the crucifix. "I dropped it, Mom," said Antonio. "That's my boy. That's my very good boy," said Mrs. Manning in a demonic voice. Arjanek appears, then laughs evilly. "Stupid child, always listens to Mommy," said Arjanek. "Actually, I always listen to my father," said Antonio, pulling his necklace of the crucifix from the pocket Bible, raises it, then continues chanting the prayer. Arjanek is groaning. "No, no, no. Put that down. Now," said Arjanek. "Hell will never rise. Heaven is the pathway to righteousness. God is my protector. Evil will always lose. In his name, we pray. Amen," said Antonio. Arjanek continues screaming. Both Arjanek and Austin continuously transform into one another. Arjanek goes through the floor, lands in the basement, then goes into the ground. Austin is gasping. Antonio grabs Austin. "Father Manning, is that you? What happened?" asked Austin. "You got possessed by Arjanek. But it's all right. He's gone. We need to call the police for Father Barker and Mr. Rios," said Antonio. "Yeah? Did I do that?" asked Austin. "Don't worry, son. You were possessed. It wasn't you," said Antonio. 1 month later, Antonio appears sitting behind his desk, knocking on the door. The office door opens. "Father Manning, your flock is here," said Austin. "Thank you. You know what? Why don't you take this one? I trust you. Go out there and say whatever you want," said Antonio. "All right," said Austin in a demonic voice. Antonio looks up at Austin. "What?" asked Antonio. "I said, and quat. All right, and quat. You need to relax nowadays," said Austin. "Yeah, you're right. Have a good service," said Antonio. "Thanks, Antonio," said Austin, closing the office door. "You're welcome, son." Antonio stops, looks up then shakes his head. No. It's just in my head, said Antonio. People appear, sitting on the church benches. The office door opens then shuts. Austin walks towards the podium. Hello everyone, I'm Austin French. And Antonio said, and quote, I can do the service today, and quote. So, let's begin, said Austin smiling, then his eyes turn red. The end.